It is a server, and what a server does is provide services. So it provides a backup service. You touched on some of the file services. Does it do print services, print
It
sharing?
can do print sharing. There are some limitations because typically the printers of today, the home printers at least, require you to install software that sits in the system tray and tells you your ink level and talks to you about when you're printing and things like that. That kind of software is problematic because you typically need to be logged in for that software to function properly. In a situation like that, if you want the home server to be a print server, you either need to have business class printers, which do not require all the fluffy stuff, or you install the network only driver. And those are typically available from the manufacturer's website under the support section. And what you're looking for is the network only driver. That doesn't have all the extra bells and whistles and the pretty pictures and the voices and everything else, but that's typically all you need to worry about.
And another key service it provides with Internet Information Services is remote access.
Absolutely.
Web server.
Yeah, as long as you're running a business class OS, such as XP Professional, Vista Business, or Windows 7 Professional or higher, you have remote access to the PCs in your office or your home. And I use that for a lot of my clients.
Do you need an IT guy to set this up and maintain it?
Typically, you could do it yourself. It's not difficult, but we set it up and we actually charge a flat rate for our clients because we set them up in our office, install all the necessary software. We add software to it, such as UPS software to shut the server down if the power goes off. You don't want the server to crash. So we actually install a battery backup with the server, and then it shuts the server down properly. We install notification software that tells us the health of your home server. We install software for remote administration. If we need to get into the server to do something for you, you call us with a question. We can hop right in and take a look and see what's going on. We also install software to back up the home server to an external disk. We would recommend you rotate those off-site. If this is a business environment, that data is really the heart of your business.
Now this is a little different product because you can buy the software, Windows Home Server software, but it might make sense to buy a bundle from a third party. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I like personally the HP units. HP has two different models of the home server product. The consumer model is the HP Media Smart Home Server. The business model is the HP Data Vault. Those we can get through resellers like myself. If you go into HP's website on the business side, you will find the HP Data Vault. They are essentially the same product with two different target markets. The Data Vault 510 is the big one. That one has a 3-year warranty for businesses. There's a smaller version, the 310, that has a 1-year warranty. The consumer models all have 1-year warranties.
Are they expandable, the hard drives?
They
storage?
are. The HP units have 1 or 2 drive bays populated. They have 4 drive bays total. They are toolless. You can add a SATA hard drive to it anytime you wish. We recommend you for the business units, that you put business class hard drives in. On the consumer units, they'll use consumer grade hard drives. They're fairly inexpensive. We're talking $549 to $699 price points for these devices.
Now you live in this space. You're a small business server MVP, and this is your business. Some of the SKUs, the products offered, can be confusing to a small business.
Yes, they can.
So where do if you've got a few PCs at home, well, Windows Home Server just seems natural. But when you're a small business of 5, 7 PCs or 15, what are some of the product options, and where do you draw the lines?
Yeah, today if it's 10 PCs or less, you probably don't have a server. That's where Home Server would make a good first server for a small business. And of course we're talking the HP Data Vault line. If you're over 10 PCs, Home Server has a limitation of 10 PCs. So at that point we're looking at a real server, and that would be the small business server product today. Now next year, Microsoft's already publicly announced there's going to be another version of Home Server. Today its code name is Aurora. The name hasn't been publicly announced as to what it's going to be called, but today it's Windows Small Business Server codename Aurora. That is targeted to 25 computers and under. That product will be available sometime next year. Small Business Server today supports up to 75 users. That's the product that most of my customers have today. But I'm selling Home Server with the Small Business Server because of the client backup technology. Because running a business, you want your business to have the data on the business server. But to protect the client computers, I'm selling the home server along with it, and that would be the HP Data Vault 310.
And it's strictly a client backup. It doesn't back up the
Strictly
server.
client backup, does not back up the server. Not designed to back up the server and not supported to back up a server.
And with the business product, you don't get some of the twonky media and some of those things that'll be...
The low-end one, you do not. The 310 does not include all that. That's why it's less expensive. The 510 is the big one. That's just like the Media Smart home server. It has all the media server stuff. That I would put in a web design firm or maybe a photography firm where they need those things. But most of my businesses don't need those things.
Now, finally, Kevin, you've done dozens of Windows Home Server installations. Can you offer any tips or tricks or rules of thumb that you have learned from experience that you can share with our viewers today?
Always put them on a UPS. Download the free add-in called Grid Junction. You will find a complete library of home server add-ins at using homeserver.com or wegotserved.com. Those are two UK home server MVPs that keep a database of all this stuff, along with helpful tips and tricks, and you will find that database of add-ins. Grid Junction is the one I use. There's also one called Lights Out. Those will let you save energy on the home server by shutting it off when you're not using it. They will also shut the server down properly when the power goes off, as long as you connect a UPS to the home server. I use some remote notification tools for my business customers. And then, of course, there's another add-in that is a must-have for today's home server called WHS, which stands for Windows Home Server, BDBB. It will back up the backup database of all the PCs that you're protecting. It will back that up to an external disk.
All right, viewers, today we've been speaking with Kevin Royalty of Total Care Computer Consulting, and not only does he have the shirt, not a t-shirt, but he's got the shirt. He sure has the expertise in Windows Home Server, and of course he's an SBS MVP. So thanks for talking with us today, Kevin.
Not a problem. Glad to do it.